we want to make sure that they're doing well and that we acknowledge especially those who preceded us. And I noticed some veterans here in the audience, those who literally put their lives on the line for this country. We want to make sure that we're there for them each and every single day. And so we thank you for your service. But I think about the generations that follow us and who are going to ensure the success that we're all counting on. Not just today, but next 10, 20, 30, 50 years down the road. And Darisa, your commitment to this community, to our state, to this country, that gives me some confidence that we're going to be okay over the long term. So very grateful that you're here and that you would introduce us today. I want to also thank Mayor Lozano, who every single time that I have come to Del Rio, going all the way back to the very first time, I think in 2017, has been out there to welcome us with a fierce pride in this community, wanting to make sure that Del Rio's story, everyone in Del Rio's story, is told to the rest of the state and to the rest of the country, the rest of the world for that matter. And I love his advocacy for this community now as mayor. He'll work with anyone, anytime, anywhere. Republicans, Democrats, independents, does not matter to him. He'll also call out the truth when it needs to be said without worrying about who he is going to offend, Democrat, Republican, independent, or otherwise. His sole goal is making sure that he delivers for this community. And for me, that's one of the best examples of public service that I've seen in the state of Texas. So Mayor, we're very grateful for what you do, what you continue to do, what you will do going forward. And as you all know, the mayor is also a veteran, so service that preceded his time in office as well. Thank you. To Representative Morales, thank you so much for also welcoming us when we were in Eagle Pass, now here in Del Rio, for your service to this state. And also, I think, much like the mayor, the representative will work, has worked with anyone, anywhere. And the party affiliation does not matter to this guy. And I love it because, as Darisa just said, we are way too divided already. This state is too polarized, too fractured, too many people who won't even listen to the other person on the other side because they don't belong to the same political party. Well, there's no way for us to get ahead or to heal these divisions if we're not willing to see each other first and foremost as Texans before we see each other as Republicans or Democrats. And your representative, our representative here, embodies that in his public service. And it's why I call him to listen to him, to make sure that I understand what's most important to the communities that he represents and that he serves. And in a little bit, we'll touch on one of the really important issues in Texas and in this country. And I hope that we bring in the representative into the conversation because he has so much to share, is providing so much leadership at this moment. And I'm so grateful in the midst of his incredibly busy schedule and agenda that he'd make some time for us here today. So Representative, thank you for being here as well. Very grateful to you. So, Darisa mentioned it. I talk about how the mayor and the representative embody it, this need to come together and to decide what it is that we can agree on and move forward with before we define ourselves by our differences and what we're not going to do and how much we don't like the other guy. And there are a few things, as I've traveled the state of Texas, now here today in Del Rio, last night in Houston, the day before in Austin, before that in Temple, Texas. And as you know, we like traveling to all the counties across the state. So we've tried this out almost everywhere we go. And we have found that these three issues resonate, bring people together, and unite Texas like no others. The first one is focusing on jobs and the kind of work that we can expect to be able to do in our lives. Yes, work that pays a living wage, and that's important in a state that still has a minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. We want to make sure that if you are working full-time, you don't have to work a second job or a third job